Hey, Billy Donahue here with the Publicans. So happy to be back doing another podcast here. This one, I am going to focus in on the best pints of Guinness that I've ever had in the United States. So it's my personal list of places that I've been to. So let's get jumping. Just as an aside, the best pints of Guinness I've actually ever had were in Ireland. The Palace Bar in Dublin, for example, would be one of my top three places I've had a pint of Guinness. But let's come stateside and let's review some of the cool places here. These are just in alphabetical order. These are not a list from 10 down to 1. I enjoy all of these pints of Guinness pretty much equally, so let's jump into that list. All right, start with the A's. The Anglesey Pub. This is in North Wildwood, New Jersey. It is the home of Irish music at the Jersey Shore. It is also the home of pints of Guinness at the Jersey Shore. You will not find a better pint of Guinness at the Jersey Shore than at the Anglesey Pub. They call it the high steps. These are the steps you have to get up into the Anglesey Pub. Sometimes it does flood in here, so it's good that they have the high steps. The water has been almost up to the top of the steps there in certain hurricanes. So here's the inside. You can see over to the left they have the beautiful Guinness draft system, which serves up the pints of Guinness. My band has played here, both my bands, the Shanties, and my family band, the Derry Brigade. Here's a picture from a few years back of me playing during a Fesh at the Beach, which was an annual Irish dance competition there. We always have a great time there at the Anglesey. It's almost impossible not to. And here's the beautiful pint of Guinness from the Anglesey. Just look at that beautiful meniscus on the top. Again, you want a little bit of separation between the top of that harp and the bottom of that foam line on the Guinness. So that's how you know you're getting a good pint. The Anglesey never fails on that end. So it's a beautiful looking pint here. I can't recommend this place enough. So definitely get over and check it out. All right. And let's go on. Here's the Black Taxi. This place is in Fairmount in Philadelphia. My band has also played here. So a lot of these places are linked for, I play music, I'm a musician. So a lot of these places that I played are on my list because, they represent, the Irish culture and they have great pints of Guinness. And a lot of these are Irish owned, like the Anglesey and this one here. So here's the inside of the Black Taxi. Very cool bar. They used to have live music. I used to play there quite often, as I said. But here's the pints. They're just beautiful looking pints of Guinness. This is, a nice picture taken out over the window looking over Fairmount. It's in a really nice section. Parking's really tough here. I would recommend Ubering here. Try not to go down here and park or anything like that. And plus you want to Uber anyway if you're drinking pints of Guinness. So, and then let's take a look. Here's myself and the lads we Ubered over after seeing the Merry Wallopers, which is an Irish band downtown, and we had a good crew there with us, a couple of musicians and a couple of my cousins and friends. So, good times. Always had at the Black Taxi and great pints of Guinness. Let's go to New York. The Dead Poet. This is a really, really cool bar. They have free popcorn at this bar. I was here. My band played in Manhattan at a place that's no longer existing called the Palace, and then we did a little bit of a pub crawl here. And a couple of the places I went on that pub crawl are on this list. But the Dead Poet was such an awesome bar. They were so nice to us. They were giving us buybacks of they give us some Jameson and stuff like that. But I did have a couple pints of Guinness in here. This is what the bar, it's super narrow, but then it opens up as it goes back. And there's the back room. High ceilings, but super narrow. But what a cool bar this is. This is in Manhattan on the Upper West Side. And I like their pints of Guinness because they serve it in their own Dead Poet glass. I just love the glass. It's like a 20-ounce imperial pint. It's a really cool glass, and they pour it a lot. So any place that pours Guinness a lot is going to have a really good pint of Guinness. So anyway, the Dead Poet, check it out if you're ever in Manhattan. There's also a place across the street that I'll get to in a bit that has a wonderful pint of Guinness. Fergie's is owned by Fergie Carey. It's downtown in Philadelphia. It is a Fergie's from Dublin, and they have a wonderful, wonderful pint of Guinness in here. So this is a real music bar. I mean, they have a lot of music here. They have a lot of Irish traditional sessions. They don't have any TVs in the bar. So if you're going in here to look at a sports game or anything, this is not the place to be. This is the place to go in and have a nice pint of Guinness and talk to the person next to you. And there's always good conversation in this bar. Here's the inside bar. Really cool, old school looking bar. Here's the side room. This is where musicians play when they have sessions. I played in here once for a ballad session. I covered that, so that was really cool. And let's take a look at the pint of Guinness. A beautiful pint of Guinness. And now, if I'm being honest, this is probably my favorite pint in Philadelphia. It's just a beautiful pint of Guinness. But the Black Taxi and the Plow and the Stars and other places like that really have awesome pints of Guinness too. But this pint of Guinness is like perfection. So definitely check this out if you're in Philly. All right, going up to the Irish Catskills. There's a lot of different bars up in the Irish Catskills, obviously, that serve Guinness. But this is 5 Furlongs. Furlongs was a bar that was open years ago, and then it closed down and sat unopened for about 10 years or more. And then somebody finally purchased it and reopened it just a year and a half ago. So this is Furlongs. Really cool. They have an awesome like outdoor area. They have all the flags of all the counties outside. It's really Irish. It's Irish owned. Inside, they have a real long bar, and they have multiple draft system plus the Guinness on draft. And they pour the Guinness perfect here. The bartenders are trained perfectly here. Here's another look at the inside bar going down. That's when I was at the bar. Took a picture in there. And there's the pint of Guinness. I mean, it's just like perfection. So it's about as good as you can get in the States right there. It is creamy. It's delicious. And it's just perfect temperature. Everything about this pint is perfect. And I actually played the Irish Catskills with my band, the Shanties, last Memorial Day. And we played at a place called the Blackthorn. And I hung out here during the day with a couple of musician friends from the Narrowbacks, my friend Brian McGuire, who's in the Natterjacks, and also Raymond Coleman, who's an Irish musician from Philly. So we went in there and had a few pints. And there's the lads there. There's Raymond Coleman and Potter. This is from an earlier one, but Potter's a good friend of mine from Philly. And Tim Buchanan in the middle there. Tim is a mandolin player. He's unbelievable. So always good to have some friends with pints. And these pints are absolutely perfect at Furlong. So next up, we're going to Trenton. First of 2 places in Trenton. I believe there's only 2 Irish bars left in all of Trenton, New Jersey. But both of them have amazing pints of Guinness. So this is one of them. This is McManaman's. McManaman's, it doesn't even have a marker outside. It just says Smittix and Guinness. If you look at the thing, the signs outside. It's just a classic old school. There's McManaman's Pub. That's how it's spelled. That's behind the bar. Now, a friend of mine recently bought this. He's from Ireland. His name's Willie Farrell. There's Willie there on the right. He just purchased it last month. And he painted the place and did it up a little bit. So it's a little bit, a little bit nicer looking than it was. I can't wait to come in here and play for Willie. Hopefully I'll have something coming up in the not too distant future. Every time I go in this bar, I bring my bouzouki with me and I play some songs, right at the bar there, and it's always a good time. My brother usually is with me, and he'll play the whistle, and we'll play some Irish songs, and it's a great time. And there's like a side view before they painted it. It was green, now it's white, but it's a cool old bar. And the Guinness, it's hard to see in this, but this is the Guinness I had there. The Guinness here is like perfect. I love the Guinness at McManaman's. It's so good, so underrated. It's just a little tiny corner bar in Trenton in a neighborhood, and it's very unassuming, but when you go in there, the Guinness is just perfect, and they pour it perfectly. They wait, and it's just a great pint. So the Plow and the Stars, downtown Philadelphia, wonderful pints of Guinness. This is like one of the homes of Irish culture in Philadelphia. They do a lot for Irish culture. They support a lot of music. They have national touring acts like the Wolftones and the Irish Brigade playing here. They're the home of the Celtic Supporters Club, and they're the home of the Dublin Society, which is what I'm in. We meet down here, a couple times a year. It's very very friendly bar. They have these little tables next to like a fire, an actual fireplace. It's just so comfortable in there. You feel like you're at home. Here I am playing with my brother, and that's the legendary Bill Whitman there. He used to play with my band. God rest him. He unfortunately passed away a few years ago, but he was a legend. He used to play with everybody on the Bow Run, and this is from the Dublin Society. This was like our Christmas event. We would meet like on a Sunday morning at 11 a.m. and kind of have the bar to ourselves for an hour and sing some songs and stuff. But it's a cool place. But the star of the show in here really is the pints of Guinness, and there's I look at that perfection all the way down. It's just so awesome. Like, they have really good bartenders. Their bartenders are from Ireland. The people that own this are from Dublin, so you can kind of see the theme here. Like, when you want to get a good pint of Guinness, it's usually an Irish-owned place. And so the Plough and the Stars, great place down on 2nd Street in Old City in Philadelphia. St. James Gate. We're going back to Manhattan. This one is actually across the street from the Dead Poet, so Upper West Side. We only stopped in here. We stopped in here for a pub crawl, and I was just stopped in here literally for one pint of Guinness before we went to the Dead Poet. But I got to tell you, that Guinness was absolutely amazing. I remember just saying, this is like the best pint of Guinness. At the time, this was like 5 years ago, that I've had, almost one of the best in the States. So let's take a look inside. This one's decorated for Halloween at the time. But there's a pint of Guinness. That's what it looks like. I love these glasses with the two cans on them. This is a settling pint, so this is after you pour, this is the way they settle. And then once you get a fully settled pint, it kind of looks like that. And you can tell it has a nice little meniscus over the top. And that's how you tell it's a good pint of Guinness. So St. James Gate, Upper West Side of Manhattan, across the street from the Dead Poet. You can knock two of them out right there if you're in Manhattan. So probably worth the cab ride. I threw this one in. It's no longer open. It closed down around COVID time. It opened in 1995, and it was open till 2020 or so, maybe right before COVID. Anyway, this one's called The Bards. This was in Philadelphia. This was next to the Irish pub, which also closed down. And The Bards had probably my favorite pint of Guinness. It was legendary for its pints of Guinness. For years. It was just a little tiny bar. They had music sessions in here back in the day. But let's take a look here. This is what the inside of the Bards look like. Okay. It was just a long bar with just traditional Irish pub seats. And I would just love one more time just to come in here and get a beautiful pint of Guinness here. They have great pints of Guinness. Here's the back room. This is where the Irish sessions were. It's actually one big room, but this was the back side of the room behind the bar. And the session would happen at these tables. So people would sit down and, grab a pint of Guinness and listen to the music or play along if you're a musician. So, and there's the pint of Guinness that I found from the Bards. And once again, it's like a perfect pint of Guinness. Like, the Bards had this down from day one. From the day they opened, they had this pint of Guinness down. So, for sure. So, no different. And the last pub I'm going to cover is Tirnanog. It's a legendary pub in Trenton, New Jersey. It is not related to the chain of pubs called Tirnanog, which are in all the big cities. This one is an independent pub. This one came before all those pubs. This has been there for years. This pub was first opened by a man named Irish Billy Briggs. Irish Billy Briggs was a singer. He was a musician. He was big into Irish causes. And he unfortunately passed away back in 2008. But he was an absolute legend, and this bar is still legendary. So this is Tirnanog in Trenton. Here's the inside of the bar. I think they've remodeled this since and maybe repainted it, but this is a look at the inside of the bar. Here's my band, the Shanties, from a few years back, playing there at Tiernanog. We used to play there once a month at one point. We played there all the time. We usually played as a 3-piece. I have a 6-piece now, but a great place to play. And the crowd would sing along with you. They'd know every Irish song that you sang. Great place. But the Pints of Guinness here are the star. They have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pints of Guinness. And if you're ever in Trenton, please check out McManaman's and Tiernanog. They're two places you have to stop to get a pint of Guinness. They're just amazing pints and amazing people, and you'll have a good time. This place is owned by a guy named Todd Faulkner. He's a great guy. Him and his wife own it. They have great bartenders here. So, and they also have an Irish whiskey club. If you're into that, you want to you can sample certain amounts of Irish whiskey and get your name on a board. So definitely want to get in on that. If you live close, make sure you're Ubering for Irish Whiskey Club. And there's a pint of Guinness that I had at Tiernanog either last year or the year before. Just look at that pint. Just perfect. Absolutely perfect. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm Billy D. This was the best pints of Guinness that I've personally had in the States. And Sláinte, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. And hopefully I will catch up with some of yous on the road with my band, the Shanties, coming up in Philly and around the area. So Sláinte, I'll see you next time.